So yeah, I'm feeling good. I got okay sleep last night. I was completely wore out yesterday. I feel okay today. I feel better today. I feel more rested today, definitely. Um, Again, even though I'm getting worked up, it's just getting these things out. Uh, what I'm hoping is to what would be nice is to just be able to get to a point where I'm so just like comfortable and because right now I feel like my back's against the wall. You know what I mean? I feel like every breath is my dying breath. Um, so, what I say should be important. So, I guess what I'm saying is, hmm, hmm. The amount of healing that happens when I'm saying these things, those videos I made yesterday, I'm saying these things, like I said, for the first time ever. A lot, most of this, 95% of the first time ever, has even come out of my fucking mouth. Um, and then, the amount of things that haven't even crossed my mind or been in my memory bank consciously and have just been so deep and tucked away under so much shit. So it literally is life changing, like as I'm healing. Because it's making me so much stronger and more confident in my own perspective, because I understand that how much book knowledge I have and how much indoctrination I have, and I understand the programming, and I understand, so I can take a look from outside of that and just see things for what they are, because I have no attachment to anything. So the only thing I have an attachment to is myself, right? It's just me. So I don't have to defend anything. So I can call if I see something that's wrong and say, well, that's wrong. If I see something that's right, I can say, well, that's right. If I see something that makes sense, well, that makes sense. I see something that's like, fuck, what the fuck? I'm gonna be like, what the fuck? So it gives me that freedom to be able to do that. And I've always been in this manner, but it was literally my soul holding on, because my mom did everything in her power for day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, for years, at least 8 years. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what happened. There's so much still that I haven't gotten into. I'm letting these things come as they come to me. Because I still am struggling. I'm still processing, and in that, when I say processing, what I mean is not only processing mentally and then, getting rid of splits and alters and integrating, but I'm talking like it's because this shit gets physically stored in your body. So even like being able to speak, I can feel this shit like physically working its way out of me. I can feel it working its way out of like parts of my body, like in my side. I mean, I get bad, severe pains. It's just normal. And I understand. I don't speak of it because it's just, so I don't know if I've explained this before, but if you're healing, you're going to get these things as well. There's all kinds of things, all kinds of fucking things that happen. But yeah, man, if this stuff's going to move physically through your body. And sometimes, like with fasting, sometimes I fast, sometimes I don't. And it's just knowing, it's trusting myself. It's not being like, well, you have to push. Well, why do I have to push? That's the thing, guys. Why do we have 5-year plans? Why do we have 2-year plans? Why do we have any kind of plan? I don't make any plans anymore. I quit making plans. The absolute absurdity of making plans just hit me 9 months ago, and I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done making plans. Because we can die at any moment. We're not guaranteed anything, guys. And you guys want to act like, oh, you're just being negative. You're just looking, oh, man, you must really be in a dark place. No, dumbass. You idiot. You spineless fuck. I've lived a fucking hard life, you dumb motherfucker. I understand what the fuck is going on. I'm facing reality. I have actually been an optimist. Most people call me an optimist my whole life. I had to be an optimist. You got to in order to even be able to have the mindset to get through this shit. But what has happened is I've had so many brain injuries now, the optimism is out the window. I did optimism. If you want to see optimism, start watching my videos from the very beginning. You'll be like, oh, dude, you were so much healthier when you were positive and walking around with all that love. Yeah, dumbass, because I needed to heal myself physically. I needed to get myself physically healed enough in order, because I knew there was some major healing coming. I knew it. It was either death or major healing, and I had no clue what this major healing entailed. 9 months ago when I started this, I had no clue what this major healing entailed. Not a fucking clue. But I knew I was gonna have to fix myself and get myself healed enough physically in order to endure this healing. I knew my instinct told me, dude, you're not gonna, in this shape, you're not gonna live through this healing. And that's what I'm saying. I'm drained every day, guys. I'm doing everything I can. You can see in my videos, even a couple months ago, before I started this healing, I had gotten myself healed enough physically to where I was like, well, I could go and get on some pills, like maybe Xanax and pain pill and maybe a sleep pill, and you know what I mean? I could go get medicated and jump right back in on this program. And that's what they did. That's what my dad's generation did. My dad is being held alive by pills right now, guys. He's 60. I think he's 60 years old. He's had starting, what is it, 3-4 years ago, he had his first major stroke at 57. I mean, this is crazy. And this is a natural reaction. This is a natural body reaction to an unnatural environment. These guys grew up in the sex, drugs, rock and roll era. Fighting, being assholes, being dicks, getting whatever they have to do to get what they want. But acting like Jesus, my dad was considered himself Catholic. The guy, I got a story about the guy I lived with here. Oh my God, I got a disgusting story. You guys want to hear a disgusting story? My boss, okay? If I had one father figure besides my stepdad, was my boss. We used to work for him. He was a roofer. We used to work for him in the summertime. I did for a couple summers, 2 or 3 summers before I left. He's who I learned this trade from. And as a kid is what I'm talking about. That's who I learned it from. My buddy is his son. Well, he was so fucking severely overweight. This is like 7 years ago. He was attending the rolling church down here, the Protestant fucking rolling church, money church down here. And how do I know? Because I went to church with him to see what the fuck was going on. Because I was living here with him. This was after my head injury. I was living here with him. And he was in such bad fucking physical condition. I was like, dude, you need to make some major changes. And he just kept on popping whatever pills. Take these pills and eating whatever he wanted. Because he thought what he was being told by these cocksucking Christians, so-called Christians, they were putting they get in a circle, they put him in a chair, and they get in a circle, and all these men would put hands on him. And they speak in tongues and pray in tongues and blah, 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 blah. It was crazy as shit. And I'm used to that shit because that's the kind of shit I saw when I was younger. Bullshit. Groupthink. Everybody going along. So, after I saw that and I realized that he was not heeding my advice, I started digging in on that. I was like, dude, those motherfuckers call it. That's when I really started getting on him about this Christianity. And I was like, man, fuck those motherfuckers. That church is he was giving all his money to them. He was tithing so much fucking money to them. All their speakers. He would go to church like 5 days a fucking week. They would always have these fucking speakers and these fucking idiots. These church people are disgusting. God needs all this money, huh? Disgusting, hypocritical, nasty, disgusting group thinkers. And he didn't heed my advice. He said, no, Richard. He would tell me no. No. Get behind me, Satan. I'd be like, God damn it. I used to get so fucking pissed at him. Because it was a very short period. When I went to the church, it was like 5 months before he had his stroke. And he was severely overweight, but he was like a cat on the roof. But he had no energy because he had such severe diabetes. I mean, you could push and his skin would go in, and it was, oh my God, it was so bad. And he would just continue to eat whatever he wanted to eat. Because he thought as long as he kept going to this church and his faith in God and his faith in these fucking people going, putting their hands on him. Guys, one of these people was a murderer. He murdered his cousin, did 20 years in Texas. He worked for him. He ended up stealing from my boss. I told him. I warned him. I warned everybody. Nobody listens to me. Nobody listens to me. Nobody. I told him. Dude ended up stealing from him. Robbing him. His customers. While I was at my brother's with my head injury. That was his employee that took over my position. Oh my God, dude. I mean, my life is just unbelievable. I've just been sitting here and that's why I had to keep myself drunk. I couldn't deal with any of it. Like, I looked around me and nobody made sense. I'm like, man, no, this is crazy. But everybody would point at me and go, ooh, you're an alcoholic. It's because you're a drunk. Richard, you have an anger problem. Richard, you just need to just go along. Richard, you just need to go along with the group. Richard, you just need to get on the program. Richard, you just need to shut up. Richard, you just need to quit talking. Richard, you just need... I mean, it's unreal. I kept myself fucking plastered. And I'm realizing it wasn't just due to the abuse by my mom. It was to the abuse and the fucking ignorance all around me of you cocksucking group thinking pieces of shit. Dude, I was living here with him. Had to see him every day. It got so bad the last 2 months, I think it was, 3 months. He was only able to get off the couch to go to church. He was unable to go to church 5 or 6 days a week like he was. He was only able to go now 2 days a week. He would literally sit on the couch and we lived here. He would sit on the couch in this living room and not move all day just to get up and get food and go back to the couch and eat. And had his those fucking, what are they called? What kind of fucking cocksuckers are those? Those dollar preachers and those goddamn ecclesiastical fucking preachers on TV. Listening to that shit. Putting all his faith in God. I was so disgusted. I'm so disgusted with that church is right down the road, like a couple miles down the road here. I see those people, I see those nasty ass pastors, those fucking Luciferian pastors that are going straight to fucking hell. Those deacons, those Luciferian nasty ass fucking deacons that are going straight to fucking hell. Yeah, because it wasn't just him. This was a thing they did in that church. I can't believe nobody hasn't brought a lawsuit against those cocksuckers yet. This is a thing. I know many people who died. They talked about going to the bedsides and everything. I'm like, man, that's disgusting. And the disgusting thing was these Christians don't even think they have to work on themselves. My boss was eating I couldn't even describe. This man was so disgustingly overweight, and I can't even describe to you his diet. It was so disgusting. Ramens, hot dogs. It wasn't even hot dogs. We called them devil dicks. They were like this size. They looked like a devil dick. They looked like the dick of the devil. They were nasty. They were about that round, you know. Just he found the nastiest shit to eat, and he'd just eat the nastiest fucking processed food. All processed. All fucking processed. And I just sat here. I tried. I did everything I could. And you know, people blamed me and said that it was because he was drinking. That motherfucker he drank alcohol in the past because he loved to drink with me. We drank all the time. We were drinking buddies. But the last 6 months of his life, his health was in such bad. We drank twice together in that 6 months. Twice. He was in such bad health, he couldn't drink. He couldn't do anything. He sat on the fucking couch and died. He sat here and died on the couch. You know what gave him a stroke? His son went somewhere, and he went somewhere with his son. He had sat here for like a week on the couch and didn't move. Got up, grabbed his bag, and left and had a major stroke. And he can barely talk. He makes noises. He finally had to lose that weight. He finally learned he could fucking not eat. He finally learned his fat ass couldn't eat. Because he lost 150 pounds in like fucking a couple months. It's that simple, guys. To lose weight, you just don't eat. And sitting there on medications. Just popping pills. Vitamins, mass doses of vitamins. He was popping mass doses of vitamins. I'm like, John, and I sat here for years. He did that for years. And I'd just be like, John, so when he got really sick, I was like, John, if this isn't changing it, you should stop taking it. Because I told him I had made myself toxic. So I was lifting. When I got out of the military, I was lifting heavy. I became a bodybuilder. I was lifting heavy. I was almost 200 pounds. I was fucking big, man. And I was taking so many supplements. I wasn't even taking a ton. I was just taking a ton of multivitamins, but they weren't. The problem was I was eating like so many calories. So anyways, things weren't getting digested. So I became toxic, and it fucked me up for like 3 months. I had a detox. So I knew the signs. So I told, he knew all this, but he chose to be lazy. He chose to believe in God. He chose that he thought his faith in this Luciferian God that was giving him all this processed food to eat, in this Bible to fucking believe in this nice little house, in this Luciferian money system that he was running around in and miserable in and had all these children in. I mean, it's disgusting, dude. Worshipping this Luciferian Jesus. This Luciferian system. And I watched it with my own eyes. I'm saying, guys, I've seen this shit with my own eyes. I've lived this shit. I've seen people. I've lived with people. I know how you guys are bamboozling yourselves. It's called cognitive dissonance. It's called being on programs. You guys are like the frog. It's like the frog in boiling water. I'm watching you guys boil yourselves to death. And I'm just going, the only thing I can do is just say my truth, and maybe it'll resonate with somebody. I mean, you guys are so lost in the sauce, man. It's unreal. And the temperature, the reason I'm talking like this is because I see the temperature boiling around your dumbasses. And you guys are sitting there neck deep in this shit now and just defending to your last breath these systems. And these systems are killing you. Because guess what? That same dude, this happened to him like 5 years ago. He had that stroke, 6 years, whatever it was. Guess what? He's completely dependent on the system now. He's God knows how much medication he's on. God, and he's still on the religious program. Oh, God. How much cognitive dissonance does that one take? You guys do it to yourselves, man. You do it to yourselves.